The invisible tax that steals your wealth without you noticing. What if I told you that you are paying a tax every single day, even when you don't buy anything, even when your government promises no new taxes, even when your bank balance stays the same? A tax so hidden, so silent that it's been draining the wealth of entire civilization for over 2000 years. This tax does not shows up on recipient bank statement or government forms, yet it determines who become poor, who stays rich, and which nation rise or collapse. Today we are uncovering the invisible tax, that the one almost no one notices until it's too late. And the real twist, it's not imposed by politicians but by the every system we all rely on. History background is to understand this hidden tax. We must travel back to the ancient world, Rome, China, and the early Islamic empires, where rules uncovered a dangerous trick. They learned that they did not need to raise taxes openly, they simply needed to change the money itself, reduce the silver content in coins, mix copper into gold, print more paper notes than they had backing for. And every time they did, the people became poorer without ever being told. Fast forward to the present, governments no longer shapes silver from coins, banks no longer print paper money backed by gold, but the trick survives stronger, faster, and more hidden than ever, because no money is digital, infinite, and completely. Today story reveals how this hidden tax began, how it grew into the global system we live in, why it always ends in crisis, and why it's quietly hitting your saving right now. Chronological story: origin, rise, breaking point, fallout, failed taxes. Origin: when money lost its anchor. For centuries, money derived its value from scarcity, silver, gold, and limited coins supply. Then came the first major loophole: fractional reserve banking. Banks realized they could lend more money than they physically had. What started as a small convenience slowly because a powerful mechanisms. This was the birth of the invisible tax. Inflation created by expanding money. The rise governments see the advantage. By the 20th century, nations saw the magic trick. Why rise taxes and face public injury when you can print more money and reduce everyone purchasing power silently? World War One, World War Two, and the Great Depression pushed government to rely heavily on the trick, but the real turning point came in 1971. Breaking point: the day money lost all constraints. On August 15, 1971, President Nixon ended the gold convertibility of the US dollar. Money no longer needed backing. It became a concept, an idea created by keystrokes. From that moment, inflation was not an accident. It became a feature of the system, and the invisible tax became global. Fallout: the public pays the price. Silence: 1971, the dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Housing prices have risen more than 10x in many cities. Median wages have barely moved relative to the cost of living. Your saving earn less than interest than inflation erodes. Every new dollar printed makes the dollar in your pocket worth slightly less. That difference, that's the invisible tax field, fixes the cycle that repeats. Government try rising interest rates, freezing price, stimulating growth, cutting spending, but every fix either trigger recession or demands more money creation. It's a loop. Crisis, print money, inflation, public anger, slow down, print again. The invisible tax survives every attempt to kill it. Modern parallel, shocking data, repeating pattern. Today, world mirror, an ancient Rome, almost exactly Rome, reduced the silver content of its coins by over 90% before it collapsed. Modern nations have increased money supply by 400% to 1000% in just 2 decades. Modern inflation may look small, 2%, 5%, and 9%, but over 10-15 years it destroys lifetime of saving. And the most shocking pattern, the invisible tax hits hardest when people feel safest during claim years, when small inflation quietly compounds. This is how wealth shifts upward, how middle classes shrink and government maintain power, and how every economics cycle ends the same way. Conclusion, takeaway, warning, CTA. Three takeaways. Inflation is not a mistake, it's a built-in mechanism of modern money. The silent loss of purchasing power is the real tax most people never see. Every empire that relies on hidden inflation eventually reaches a breaking point. Warning, final thought. The real danger is not inflation itself, it's not understanding it. Those who ignore the invisible tax pay it forever. Those who learn how it works eventually escape it. Call to action: if you want more deep dive breakdown on money, power, and the system shaping your financial future, subscribe to Financial Timeline. Hit the like button and share this video with some who still believes inflation just happens, because nothing in money just happens.